So you're playing Tars Tarkas, who, I mean, in recent years, you've sort of taken a lot of bad guy roles, and Tars is a little bit more. He's ambiguous.
He is. He's not what he seems to be. I don't know about the bad guy role thing.
Well,
I mean, we can argue that.
Mm.
It's always something I like to argue, just because I don't think it's true. I don't experience it that way, and I don't think it's true.
Maybe not bad guys then, but perhaps characters whose motivations have somewhat been a little bit sinister at times.
I don't know. I don't know. But certainly Tars is a very... I don't know what to say about him because I hate to give away the story, but he's a conflicted character, he's a complex character, and he's 9 foot tall and green, so how cool is that?
Did you get to use stilts while you were...
Did I get to use them? I was... that was the only way to do it, because this is motion capture role. But motion capture, basically we're doing the scenes, we're filming the scenes as you would almost conventionally, but we're also collecting information for the animators, so after they can put my gestures and impulses and voice and on that form that is Tars Tarkas. But to give the right proportion, have an integrity to the scene so that you aren't always cutting things or always separating things out. I had to be 9 feet tall, so the only way to do that and to be mobile is to wear stilts. So I wore stilts and a camera on my head and lots of other things.
You seem quite sort of taken by the motion capture process, if I...
It's interesting. It's interesting. Because it's a tool. It's a tool. I mean, I was 9 feet tall. I truly was 9 feet tall. So I was a 9 foot tall actor. That changes things.
I imagine it does. It's without meaning to be too sort of punny. It certainly would give a new perspective.
Definitely.
But as someone, because there's currently a bit of debate over motion capture with how much is actor, how much is animator.
Who cares as long as it functions?
Well, indeed. I was just curious what when you look back at your performance, how much of it you see yourself in, how much you think...
You can argue this about any performance in film because the nature of film is so collaborative. This is just a different tool. This is a different language. I mean, you can look at... film is so strange because I've been... You know, sometimes... someone that I won't talk about myself. I'll be performing with someone and the performance really won't come across, but somehow by how it's shot, how it's cut, the performance comes alive on the screen. Do you argue, is that the actor? Is it the cutter? Is it the director? Who cares as long as it works? I mean, that's always a big debate.
It's a fairly sort of magnanimous attitude, I think, for an actor to have.
It's the only way to go because you've got to surrender to being a collaborator in film because that's the nature of it. And I think only if you have that kind of free, flexible, fluid thing about making something with other people, that's a freeing thing because then you don't own anything. You're really, you're both more potent and protected at the same time because you're not dragging your feet. You're not saying, I can't do this or I won't do this.
So at no point are you...
You're throwing stuff out there and then it's going into the mix.
I mean, from your point of view, you talk about that sort of protected and, you know, you are a part of a collaborative effort. Does that mean that we're not going to see you perhaps turn your hand to directing or to trying to take control?
I don't think so. I think I like being the doer, and I can talk for a long time what an actor is and what a director is, but in the end, the director watches and the actor does. And ever since I was a kid, I didn't like to direct people. I liked to you know, be the doer.
And, I mean, there's potential for a sequel to John Carter, and I think everyone seems quite keen that there is one, or certainly everyone I've spoken to seems quite keen. So I was wondering what your attitude would be coming back dressing as a 9-foot-tall alien again.
I'm there. I'm there. It's really, it hasn't been decided yet, but I'm there. I mean, I'll be there. Also, it's interesting that the Tars Tarkas, John Carter character, the relationship deepens in the subsequent novels. So there's a lot of cool stuff for me to do in a sequel, if there is one.
Because I presume you're familiar with the novels. And
I am. I don't know all of them. And I didn't know them before I started the movie, but I know them now.
And you, because I mean, we're just talking to Taylor, and he was saying he got about 4 books in and then got the script and went, right, I've got to stick to the script.
That's sort of how I felt. Didn't want to, yeah, that's what to concentrate on.
Did you, but you went back to them after the script?
I saw the script first, actually,
Mm.
and then I read the first couple.
And are there any sort of, let's assume that our audience for this interview are John Carter fans, are there any stories in the John Carter novels that you'd like to see made next?
I don't know them well enough, just a continuation of the story, because it'll always be kind of a reordering.
Mm.
That's an Andrew question.
Okay, thank you very much.
But I'll do that.
Thank you very much.
Sure. From where?
Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a...
that doesn't sound very British.
Years and years and years ago, well, about 3 or 4 years ago when it first started, it was a Goonies reference.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah, you should check it out with them.
Okay.